Hello and welcome to Untwisted Threads. This is Önling number 21. The 60% cotton, 40% linen yarn features 24 colors. The colorway that we chose is 108 Old Rose. This 50-gram skein with 195 meters or 214 yards works up as a fingering weight yarn. The suggested gauge on a US 2.5 and 4 or 3 and 3.5 millimeter needle size is 26 stitches and 42 rows per 4 inches or 10 centimeters. For our swatch, I will be using a 3.5 millimeter needle size. A big thanks to Önling for kindly sending us this yarn to try out. This is not a paid review, and as always, everything we say is 100% our honest opinion. In today's video, we're going to review and score Önling number 21 using our 4 categories, which are traction, softness, durability, and cost, to help you decide if this is the best yarn for you and your next project. If you've ever wished you could actually feel the yarns we talk about, we totally get it. Screens just don't do it justice. That's why we created a monthly yarn sampler card on Patreon. Every month, we send out 6 mini yarn samples so you can explore new textures, fibers, and brands from home. And the best part, your first month is totally free, so you can try it out and see if it helps you discover what you really love to knit with. The link is in the description if you'd like to check it out. Let's get started. For traction, we give it a score of 3.5 out of 5. So I don't have a lot of experience working with linen or linen blends, so I was eager to try this one out. I noticed that it was pretty rigid and didn't have a lot of bounce. It slid mostly okay on my needles, but at times it wouldn't want to slide off of my left needle. I definitely would stick with metal or nickel-plated needles for this one to prevent too much traction or drag. It did feel a little dry, but only after working with it for a while. For softness, we give it a score of 3 out of 5. This crisp summer straw-like yarn definitely took on the linen look. It has a subtle sheen, smooth and straight fibers, and is slightly heathered in color. It felt like linen too, with a little bit of softness. Now I do have sensitive skin, and even working with this one, it wasn't irritating my hands until after a while working with it. For a comparison though, we don't have many cotton or linens to compare it to directly, but it is softer than Jamieson & Smith Shetland Heritage and not quite as soft as Camaro's Ökologisk Summer Old. I'd say it's pretty comparable to Sandnesgarn Peer Gent. For a micron count or softness scale rating, plant fibers aren't typically measured in microns like wools are, but we can talk about their fiber diameter and texture in a comparable sense. Cotton and linen would range between 12 and 25 in an approximate micron count, where we would find this particular yarn at around a 25. Now that is with washing the swatch only once. Linen tends to soften after repeated wash and wear, so that could absolutely be the case for this one too. When it comes to breathability, cotton and linen fibers are very breathable. In fact, it's among the most breathable types of yarn that you can use, especially for warm weather or summer projects. For durability, we give it a score of 4 out of 5. Cotton linen blend yarns are generally quite durable, especially compared to pure cotton or other plant-based yarns. Linen made from flax is stronger than cotton, especially when wet. It's known for its durability and resistance to wear and tear. Cotton adds softness and flexibility to the blend, balancing linen's stiffness and tendency to wrinkle or feel rough at first. When it came to our durability test, we noticed only a very small amount of pilling, which reflects that these fibers are more resistant to that. For care, it is 100% color fast and machine washable. For cost, we give it a score of 3.7 out of 5. For being a 50-gram skein, you can expect to pay $9.50 US regular price per skein. That breaks down to about 4 cents per yard, meaning a size medium sweater quantity would cost approximately $57. Overall, we give Önling number 21 a score of 3.55 out of 5. One last thing to note, the label recommends a 3.5 millimeter needle, but we found that stitch definition just wasn't quite there at that size. The fabric looked a bit loose and uneven. When we tried it again with a 3mm needle, the stitches really tightened up and looked much cleaner. So if you're using this yarn for something where stitch detail matters, like lace or texture, I definitely suggest going with the smaller needle size. This yarn stands out where breathability and structure matter more than softness. If you love a rustic feel or are making something that doesn't sit directly on sensitive skin like a market bag, this could be a great match. Have you used Önling number 21 yarn before? What yarn would you like for us to do a review on next? We would love to hear your thoughts and recommendations in the comments below. And if you enjoyed today's review, please give this video a like, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time.